Hey, welcome back to another video. So it's time to replace the cabin filter and the engine air filter in my 2016 RX 350. And I thought, well, there's so many choices. If you've seen my other videos, I always typically buy the OEM, Toyota, Lexus brand stuff. But in this case with air filters, because there's so many other companies that make air filters now, I thought, why not just compare the two and see what the difference is. So let's check it out. So I've got engine filter, car filter, and the difference in the price is pretty crazy. So $51 it cost me to get the OEM Lexus brand, these, and $16 to get these two, which is pretty staggering. So let's look at it and see if it's really worth it. Okay, what I like about them is they have carbon inlay into the filter, so it supposedly will remove smells out of the air, which is nice. All right, automatically, if you put these side by side, you can see a very noticeable difference. And you can see just how, like if I'm going to bend this, you can see how flimsy that is compared to the aftermarket, which is much thicker, and this is considerably heavier as well. So the question really is, which one is better? And the reason is because this being flimsy is not necessarily a bad thing, because it means it's actually going to let more air through. This is going to be more restrictive, but you can see just, I don't know, I really feel like this is a higher quality filter. It's definitely going to filter more things, but it is going to restrict the air a little bit more. Now, is that good or bad? You might notice a difference actually. So in a house where you have MERV ratings, if your home air conditioner is only rated for a certain MERV rating, you wouldn't want to put a super high efficiency like MERV 14 if it's supposed to only be a MERV 8 or less, because it creates so much back pressure on the system. So that may or may not be the case here. In this case, my vote goes towards the aftermarket. All right, now let's take a look at the engine air filters. Here's the factory OEM, and one thing that's very obvious is you can see the filter again is just straight through, whereas this has got a wire mesh. Now I know this wire mesh is for stability, so if I'm wiggling it, you can see the difference. This has really no wiggle, if that's a word. Looking down here, they both have a bead down the middle. That's just to hold these together so they don't flop too much. But you can definitely see, if you look at the thickness of each one, again, we have a very similar thing where the thickness of this is just overall thicker. And you can see this corrugation here exists in both. So I don't know, I would say in this case, it's probably a tie, if not maybe a little bit of an edge. The only problem is with this is you really don't want to restrict airflow in your airbox, because that is sort of the lifeblood of the engine, like the air coming in. You need that air to then mix with the fuel in order to create combustion. So if you're restricting your air intake, then you could be lowering your gas mileage. It could cause other things, probably not noticeable. But the question is, so if you got a thicker paper and a wire mesh, does that make a difference? My vote is actually gonna go towards the OEM here, although I would say it's very close. I still think it doesn't really matter, but once you look at the price, that was a $36 filter I got for $26. So still pretty expensive. But in this case, I think I'm going to go for the OEM. All right, so that is the two filters. Now let's go get these installed. which should be a pretty simple process. But if you've never done it, follow along and I'll show you how easy it is. All right, there's our box over here. So it's just going to be a couple clips like that. And this is going to pop up, and then you've got a couple sliders here that you pop. Let's see, that needs to go in there. Just like that. Now it's open. This will pop right out. It has an OEM filter in it. And it's probably about ready to be changed out. So I change these out every year. You can see the new versus the old. Definitely a difference. I think it's ready to be done. Oh yeah, that's definitely dirty. Oh dude, that's really dirty. Much dirtier than I thought. So just make a point to change yours out every year and you'll be fine. Okay, so when you put this back, just remember you've got a tab back there and you've got a tab right here that needs to go in first. So just push this back a little bit and these tabs should go right back into where they're supposed to go. You can see right there, see it? And this one right here. And then when you push down, that'll just seat like that and then it just holds it down. That's it. Inside's on the passenger side compartment. Let's see here, where is it? All right, so what you're gonna do is you're going to bend this side piece in like this, and you'll see it just pops out. Same thing over here. You're just gonna bend this in. Of course, I need to try to bend them both at the same time. There we go. And then, of course, everything in your glove box needs to come out or it's gonna fall out. Okay, so that's popped. Now we have this, which just needs to come off this way, like that. And it'll all slide down. Oh, or fall down. Looks like it's on hinges. Okay, with that done, you'll see you've got this plate here. I'm just gonna pull these tabs here and reveal where the air box is. Gosh, I can't even see. So low, I'm gonna have to get on the ground. So at this point, you will see this right here. You can see there's a little up. So up is going to match on your, well, what in the world? Usually there's an up arrow painted on here, but it's a fail for the OEM. So I'll pull this out. Golly, how many trays and stuff do you guys have? All right, that looks like it's got some stuff in it. So let's get this taken care of. Oh, here we go. There we go. So it's on the sides. Okay, I take it back. It wasn't a fail. They actually printed it on the filter material. I mean, who does that? Oh well. So up matches up. And we just slide this back in here. Like that. Just slides in. Then we've got our two pieces here. So it's a hinge, goes in the left first. I don't know if that's a hinge, but a slot, I guess. And it pops there. Now that's done. And now your cover, like that. And then your hinge for the glove box. Oops. Like that. Bring this up. that in. Push up on the whole thing. And you're back in business. Okay, so you could see how easy that was. It literally took 30 seconds. And our filters were pretty dirty. This actually looks like an aftermarket. It's got that thicker feel to it. Definitely is dirty and needs to be replaced. And this one too. So, wow. If you do this at the dealership, it will cost you a lot more. So if you go, as you saw with, if I buy the OEM filters from eBay, I paid about $50 just for the filters. So you'll pay at least that at the dealership. Or you can buy the aftermarket for a fraction of the cost, like $16 for both. Or at least less than 20, it just depends on, you know, now with the supply chain crisis, it might cost more to get. It's definitely an easy job to do. Anybody can do it. If this was helpful, go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe. Until next time.